Spring has arrived, and with it, one of the most colorful times of the year in my garden. It's tulip season, and this year mine did not disappoint. We're looking at the magic of the tulip blooms and how I'm enjoying them in my garden. Tulips come in a dazzling array of colors, from reds and yellows to multicolored varieties. There are over 3,000 registered varieties of tulips. Each bloom tells its own different story. For my garden, I have only a limited variety. I was inspired to plant the ones I have last fall when I found them at half off, late November in one of the big box stores. I thought it was too late to plant them here in Atlanta. However, after doing a little research online, I found that there are some advantages to storing them in the refrigerator throughout the fall and then planting them in late December, early January, or even as late as February. I stored them in the refrigerator from November through December, and I planted them in early January. I wasn't sure how the tulips were going to bloom and react in my backyard. As you can see now, it's quite sunny behind me. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, but the sun is limited in my backyard. Everything I researched about planting tulips was that sun is the key. Full sunshine will produce the best blooms. I planted about 80 bulbs total. I planted them in 6 pots. I left those under my deck during January and February to protect them from the rain. I understand if they get too much rain and it freezes at night, that the wet soil freezing can damage the bulbs. I also planted 2 rows of bulbs under a cypress tree in a shade planter I have on the other side of the yard. So I moved over to the area where I've got the 2 rows of bulbs planted in the ground. I'm very pleased with the way they turned out. I think the bloom is fantastic. I know there's limited sun. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning here, and if you look back at them, they're in quite a bit of shade right now. I think since it's still early spring and the trees haven't really bloomed yet, the sunshine coming through the bare trees is enough for these tulips to bloom quite nicely. And in fact, they did. So on March 7th, I moved the potted plants from under the deck out into the sunshine under the arbor. That's when the first bulbs started budding through the surface of the soil in the pots. The paper white narcissus were the first to bloom. That was on March 12th. I grabbed a package of these for variety so that I could show some white contrast with the other colorful bulbs that I had. The red hyacinth buds started to come out at this time as well. Their first blooms were on March 15th. The buds were fully bloomed around March 18th. The first tulip bloom started popping up on the 18th of March as well. The yellow ones planted in the ground were the first ones to bloom. The others all started to bloom right around March 21st, first day of spring. In the afternoon sun, they open up widely and have magnificent colors inside the blooms. I do have a few learnings from the bulbs in my backyard from this season. The paper white narcissus did not bloom that well. There was a few, they were out early, but they would whiten up and brown out pretty quickly. Also, the red hyacinth bloomed very nicely. However, I planted them in the middle of the pot, surrounded by the tulip bulbs. Fortunately, when the tulips grew, the hyacinths were curtained by the tulip bulbs and hidden from view. All the tulips, however, bloomed very beautifully. I really love the multicolored ones, the yellow and red. And I love there's ones that are pink and white. The full red ones are deep red and very beautiful, and the yellow ones are very nice as well. Now I'm going to stop speaking for a few moments and just take you through some of the videos and pictures I have of the beautiful blooms of my tulips in the garden. I'm very pleased with my tulips this season. I know I'm going to be disappointed shortly because the blooms only last a week or two in the area that I'm in. So if you want to plant your own tulips, it's easy. Plant the bulbs in a well-drained area with loose soil and make sure there's plenty of sunshine. Or, as in my case, as you can see here, there isn't plenty of sunshine, but enough. So it was 2 months from the time of planting the bulbs to the time of the bloom. And that's here in Georgia. I imagine in the northern areas, people are planting them in October and November. It could be a little anxious while you're waiting for it, but it's really nice when spring comes around, and the tulips seem to be the first thing that pop up and bloom. Really energizes me to get out in the garden and start working on more projects. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel. This way you can follow my continued backyard garden progress. Thanks for watching and have a great day.